Look at these children. For centuries, this physical wasting was the universal clinical presentation of nutritional deficiency. Starvation was understood as a simple equation of missing calories. Medical science now recognizes a form of clinical malnutrition that occurs entirely without a caloric deficit. Today, starvation has become an entirely microscopic event. It unfolds deep inside bodies that are drowning in energy, surrounded by engorged fat cells, yet completely depleted at the cellular core. We have to discard the old definition of starvation. The biological link between consuming a high volume of calories and achieving physiological nourishment has been severed. Right now, over 1.2 billion women of reproductive age worldwide lack the essential micronutrients required for basic biological function. This chart illustrates the paradox. Global obesity rates climb sharply upwards, yet they intersect with a stubbornly high flat line representing global micronutrient deficiency. These mid-century grocery store aisles represent the moment our food system pivoted toward absolute industrialized caloric abundance. In this environment, a person can consume thousands of calories daily and continuously gain weight while their internal systems remain biologically starved. This condition is clinically known as hidden hunger. It is a state where the outward markers of obesity and the internal reality of micronutrient deficiency occur simultaneously, creating a metabolic crisis that standard calorie counting cannot explain. To understand how a body can starve while gaining weight, we have to rethink the purpose of eating. Food acts as a set of biological instructions for your DNA, directing gene expression and cellular function. Ultra-processed foods flood the body with a massive influx of rapidly absorbable refined carbohydrates and fats. They provide the fuel, but they lack the iron, zinc, magnesium, and vitamins required to process that energy. They lack the information. A functional biological system requires fuel to burn and information to direct that burning. Modern diets deliver an explosive payload of the former while systematically withholding the latter. When adipose tissue is flooded with these empty calories, the physiological response is panic. Here is adipocyte hypertrophy. Individual fat cells rapidly expand in volume, desperately attempting to store the continuous energy surplus. As the cell stretches taut, the expansion outpaces its blood supply. Oxygen flow fails to reach the core, inducing severe tissue hypoxia. This structural failure leads directly to adipocyte insulin resistance. The hypoxic fat cells release inflammatory signals, specifically TNF-alpha and IL-6. These cytokines cause localized cell death and systematically shut down the body's insulin receptors. The adipose tissue is not passively storing excess energy, it is actively choking on it, triggering a systemic inflammatory crisis. If we move past the suffocating fat cells and look deep into the rest of the body's metabolic machinery, the true starvation becomes visible. In this schematic of the mitochondria, lacking an iron gear halts the cellular assembly line, stopping ATP generation and causing profound fatigue. As mitochondria fail, the endocrine network follows. Without zinc, the reproductive axis cannot synthesize hormones, creating conditions for PCOS. Simultaneously, without vitamin D, the cellular mechanisms that allow the body to absorb circulating glucose simply cease to function. The cellular engines are starved of the exact biochemical spark plugs they need to burn the massive amounts of fuel surrounding them. These microscopic failures manifest directly in the everyday human experience. Patients present with unexplainable weight gain, severe chronic exhaustion, and compounding metabolic syndromes. This is not a failure of personal willpower. It is the ancient human genome functioning exactly as it was designed to under conditions of extreme metabolic stress. The human body is flawlessly executing a survival program built for scarcity, but our modern food environment has corrupted the software inputs. Traditional medical advice often tells these patients to simply eat fewer calories to lose weight, but prescribing aggressive calorie restriction to a body already suffering from severe cellular starvation only accelerates the biological panic and forces the neuroendocrine system to shut down further. The metabolic solution requires a different approach. Instead of restricting fuel, we must flood the biological network with high-quality, nutrient-dense information. Food writes the instructions for our DNA. To achieve true metabolic healing, we must finally give our starving cells the specific information they need to survive the modern age.